Let's start off with the errata. Now, I won't say I agree with the moral or belief issues involved, but that is not what I mean. I mean that the Hebrew or even biblical Aramea-based charms and mentions have some serious language issues, like reading left to right when it's supposed to be right to left, spellings based on grimoires rather than linguistic or historical sources, and some different meaning or pronunciations seem implied. Asha'Shedim could have easily copied and pasted and sized Iblis into his graphic, where he used that, but didn't. These and the implication that they occur in other areas is secondary as we proceed, but this seemed essential enough to point out. Wahya means basically the same thing as Yahweh, and thereby means existence going out, instead of increasing existence, but also means sighing at disaster, while Yahweh would be increasing existence, established, was, is, will be. Chavajoth is how they say Chuyith would mean thread or cord or line or join in sin. The sin has to be part of the meaning, but you can pick any of the other four. We also see what looks like Jesus in unfallen angel worship. A more careful revision would have served Asha'Shedim and the Lilin Society. Now, Emmanuel, Omnual, is a title for more than just Jesus, but, the way it's referred to is not taken literally in, the case of Jesus worshippers. The cover art might be the next place to interpret. It harkens to a darker view of the Tubal Qayin of Genesis 4:22 or even 10. Death and refined forms is the overarching theme upon the enlightenment by the arts that form a connection with the beings mainstream religion considers evil. In the shadows, the evil magician is a shape-shifter of sorts, which knows the exalting sign that reaches into the four Kabbalistic worlds from the beings in the ritual space. Now, that seems to be what's meant with that symbol right there. Some assumptions must be made on our way to immortality. The Satanist is adversarial to creation, but accepts it and its material vehicles as a means to learn and experience without the clinging and disempowerment that will leave us trapped as slaves of this world. The order of 9 angles generally limits terms for insight rolls and tends more towards doing things for their criminal value. The Dreck, garbage in Yiddish, is drap. In the Lilin Society, has the same tendencies to challenge and oppose, but is meant to be more deceiving. There is fear of being exposed, but is it ever necessary to kill to protect knowledge of your intentions? Rather than claiming the changes brought about by others, each is to work out their own merit and leave no reason to stay in this world. Satanism tends towards being amoral and not as socially regulating as would be associated with religion, but Satanists may use priestcraft to grift the mundane. If there is reincarnation, the goal wouldn't be to come back and have a wider variety of experience, but the goal is to transcend with or without certain tools and acts. Liars often practice what shows and involve themselves in different types of lies. some of these, there's a whole long list and whatnot. Some may feel like trying to damage, hurt, and kill to change society, but let's be real that the secular poisons and conflict with the supposed religious ones not only give people energy to ritually connect to, but staying away from that sort of conflict will give Satanists stronger numbers comparatively and more control in those terms, as time goes on. When people do ritually kill, they often have to depersonalize or degrade the victim and have less distinctive choices of appearance. Like the Order of Nine Angles, the Lilin Society believes in a Baphomet, the blood vampire mother and wife of Satan. Their daughters are more of psychic vampires. Every 5 years, a Drek is supposed to dedicate themselves to Baphomet on a full moon with a symbol hid in black silk to be given blood in a Saturnal planetary hour. Remember that these are divided into 12 divisions of the night and 12 of the day. The progression of hours goes from Saturn to Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Moon, starting with sunset on Friday. That would be a Saturn hour. Then it circles around. The Lilin Society may not stop ritual murder, but they enact it in curses for Satan as of the other side. A Lilin Society mass of sorts is similar to the type you might see with the Goetia, but the Qliphoth Kingdom rulers mentioned an 11-pointed star taught by a female demon's symbol, and a Lucifer sign in the middle sets it apart. Feleraus as the choice for the fire quadrant being seems unusual, though. Feleraus, yeah. Qayin in the place of Jesus as a representative in the flesh model makes sense, though. The spiritual and material wars against the flawed design of demiurgic systems needs to work together to merge the worlds. Prepare yourself for what might need to be done. To gain gnosis, you may need to learn and practice about various systems of spirituality, but you could also translate and express your own in terms and styles of the others. Magic can be said as causing willful change. Intention and method can change more than feelings and thought forms. Asha'Shedim speaks of Iblis as not a being to avoid any longer, because he is a model of being rigid, seeing ourselves as superior to matter, seeking something relatable, giving the guidance that Allah forbids humans, breaking boundaries, distancing and living like a being which is a fiery Nexion in this life, will bring them to a desired hellfire. In my series, the Iblis series, the Jinn series, the Shayateen series, there were people that were pleased with it. It's like, yeah, we're going to go to hell. And, okay, well, that's your belief. There's more to it, but I already did Jinn, Shayateen, Min al-Jinn, and Iblis in Al-Quran programs. Oh, I jumped the gun on my extra comment, didn't I? Some organizations require formal membership to be a part, and we should be careful what groups we claim to be a part of. Apparently, you can add a 0 or something to the number, or even more, that a number of Lilin Society members in fantasy versus reality, people talk like they are and they aren't. Fantasy tends to build up best based on imagining individual details. We should practice feeling our voice, different areas, in the body and head and specific, and using a variety of durations. Doesn't the symbol of the snake eating its tail go back to Zimbabwe of tens of thousands of years? And the royal court of the dragon not connected to Qayin in any period? A Satanist doesn't have to found a cult to embrace their uniqueness and power, but may choose that over crime and using power systems of others. Wembanda and other dark religions may serve well for an outlet for those who wish to ritualize violence. Animal bones, reminders of human death, freshly made symbols of demons, and legal drugs may serve those who wish to form the evil connections, to remove mercy from those cursed. Fridays, ornaments, and the new may be different factors focusing on alliances with demonesses. One could say that the Celtic year starts in the northwest, but the Belial year starts in the north. Satanic rituals often mirror or reverse those dedicated to God's side. Those siding with Qayin might turn to Luluwa or Aklemia, his wife, to become detached from matter. There are beings that transcend these worldly bodies and lack the weaknesses and morality of those that must physically incarnate. These beings are present among the mundane world, and humans can become willful Nexians of the satanic forces. The Book of Teheru is an attempt at a satanic scripture that doesn't quite mesh with the tarot trumps, but it does make a fair Mesopotamian and Gnostic-like Kabbalistic myth of escaping, identifying as God's creation in the cosmic struggle to become single of purpose in return from the worlds of matter. The remains of offerings should be treated respectfully, but it is we that are the more real offering. The Gawetiakon Chavajoth is called on by those seeking to destroy their worldly consciousness in ways relating to the 11 of the Qliphoth. Now, Lucifer and some, other, Lucifer and Lucifuge wouldn't be listed in the Qliphoth. You would have something similar. I've gone to that elsewhere, but fascism has an effect on consciousness. Of those not directly a part, and this is of the roots of the truth behind stories of telepathy, rebelling against Yahweh and the concept of a Messiah could be seen by those encircled with the numbers and other symbols connected to their humming and whispering to learn from, and rituals representing the numbers thereof, and maintaining alternation between a hum and whisperings to learn from Nachash. Nachash and Mashiach had the same number value. We are not looking for just a show or a ritual, but to cause paradigm and even systematic changes. Chaos